Have you ever had a teacher tell you that you need to do research, but you can't use Wikipedia because it's not reliable? Anybody can edit it. I'm here to tell you that there is a way around that. Wikipedia is actually a good tool for doing research, but when you cite your sources, you should never ever list Wikipedia. You're not lying. There's just a way to use it to get your sources. So let's start out. We're going to pretend that we are researching Percy Jackson. So we go to the Percy Jackson page on Wikipedia and we scroll down. It gives us a little bit of information about Percy Jackson, who he is, what book series he's been in, who his family and friends are, everything having to do with him throughout all of the books. But here's the part that you really want to look at. Go down to where it says references. Anybody who has edited the Percy Jackson Wikipedia page has to cite their sources. They have to tell you where they got that information. Otherwise, the moderators on the website will delete the information that's been added, or they'll put a big note that says more sources needed. So if you see that note, know that you maybe want to question that information's accuracy. So let's say, for example, we're looking for information about the new Disney series. So right here, it tells us Percy Jackson and the Olympians, Walker Scobell to star in the Disney Plus series. Let's click on this link and see where it goes. Now, here we see it takes us to the Deadline website. And then it goes through and we have a whole article and we can listen to it that gives us details about the TV series. So we would go up here, highlight the website, copy that, and then that is the source that we would cite, not Wikipedia. But let's go back. For this, we're going to be researching Greek gods and goddesses. So how can we use Wikipedia to help us here? Let's search. So when we start with the list of Greek gods, it literally will just give us a whole list of Greek gods and goddesses. So we can scroll through and see, okay, we know some of these names. Oh, wait a second. I don't know this name. I've never heard of her before. So it goes through and tells me what she's the goddess of, who she's the daughter of. Oh, but then look, it says she's not often identifiable in Greek art, and she plays little role in Greek myths. So there's probably not going to be a lot of information about her. That's going to be really hard. I don't want to make this harder for myself than it needs to be, so I'm going to pick somebody else. Oh, Persephone. I've heard of her before, but I don't know very much about her. She's the goddess of the spring, queen of the underworld, and wife of Hades. Now, she sounds important and interesting. Daughter of Demeter and Zeus. Her symbols include the pomegranate, grain, torches, wheat, and I don't know this word, asphodelus. Oh, it's a flower. So you see how I can just hover my mouse over something that I'm not familiar with, and it gives me a picture and a quick explanation of what it is. So you see how even though I'm not citing this page, it's given me a list that I can pick from and teaching me things that I don't know to make me more well-educated, and I'll sound smarter when I start talking about it in my actual research. So Persephone sounds like the one that I want to research. Let's click on her name and go to her Wikipedia page. Now, when I scroll down, it gives me some basic facts about her, and actually this one looks like it gets into kind of a lot of detail. So I'm going to scroll to the very bottom to look at the sources for the Persephone page. Wow, there's a lot. But what I notice here is that a lot of these are really old books and articles. So this actually says that it's probably a very, very well-researched Wikipedia page if they're using texts and people's research about this. But that means it's also going to be hard for me to find those sources. So for example, if I click right here, see this is an ISBN number. You can see if you hover over it, it's like a scan, like a barcode that you scan. That means that's a book. I'm not going to have access to that. Let me see if I can click on one thing that maybe will take me to a website. Oh, this one did. Okay. So this does give me information about Persephone that I can use. This might be a little tough for me to decipher though. Look at this. This is literally in Greek right here. So I don't know how much I'm actually going to be able to take away from this. This is probably not a good resource for me unless maybe I wanted to borrow this picture. Let's try one more. The Wayback Machine. I know that used to be used or still is used to keep track of old websites. So let's see if I click on this, what it takes me to. Now see here, it takes me to Google Books. So maybe I could go through and read the pages that related to Persephone, but likely I'm not going to have access to the full book. So this isn't going to help me out a ton. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up and I'm just going to get a basic idea about who Persephone is. And then I'm going to go do a Google search to see if I can find websites that give me the same information as Wikipedia, or that just give me different types of information as Wikipedia. So one more reminder, use Wikipedia as a starting point, but you should never ever cite Wikipedia as your source.